Hello and welcome, friend. Have you ever looked at someone and wondered, how do they keep winning? How does wealth seem to just find them? And then you ask yourself, why am I working just as hard, or even harder, yet barely getting by? You're not alone. Millions feel that frustration. But what if I told you something radical? What if the key to unlocking the wealth you desire isn't in your paycheck, your job title, or your hustle, but in your thinking? In today's video, we're going beyond dollars and cents. We're talking about a shift in mindset that can reshape your entire relationship with money, not just for temporary gain, but lasting abundance. We're talking about the kind of transformation that starts in your spirit and ripples out into every part of your life. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll see how belief, gratitude, vision, and action work together to open financial doors you didn't even know existed. Let's begin with a truth that most people overlook. Your external reality mirrors your internal narrative. Proverbs 23:7 says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." If your inner dialogue is full of fear, limitation, and lack, your life will reflect exactly that. On the other hand, when you train your thoughts to expect abundance, opportunities begin to show up. Your mindset is like soil. What you plant and nurture there will eventually grow. If you plant scarcity, you harvest stress. But if you plant faith and confidence, you reap progress, prosperity, and peace. Think about this. The most successful people didn't wait until they were rich to believe they were capable of wealth. They believed it first. That belief shaped their decisions, their risks, their endurance. Hebrews 11:1 reminds us, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Faith is where success begins. It's believing before the breakthrough. Let's talk about one of the most underestimated forces in the world, your imagination. Visualization isn't some mystical trick. It's a tool that leaders, athletes, and visionaries have used for centuries. When you close your eyes and picture the life you want, you're not escaping reality, you're shaping it. Picture your future home, feel the keys in your hand, hear the laughter of your family inside, smell the fresh air from your backyard. The sharper that image, the more your brain begins to work on ways to make it real. Visualization awakens your creative mind. It gives you direction. Philippians 4:8 tells us to dwell on things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, and admirable. Why? Because the things you dwell on determine the life you build. Start envisioning greatness, not just surviving, but thriving. And here's the fuel that keeps your spirit aligned with abundance: gratitude. It's not just being polite or saying thank you when good things happen. Gratitude is a discipline. It rewires your focus. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." All circumstances, yes, even the tough ones. Because when you train yourself to see blessings, even in the storm, you break the power of scarcity thinking. Gratitude is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. This simple ritual shifts your lens from lack to abundance. And abundance attracts more abundance. It's a magnetic cycle. But let's go deeper. What happens when you're stuck? When bills are piling up? When it feels like you're drowning? That's when the true power of your mindset is tested. Most people repeat phrases like, "I can't afford it," or "That's not for people like me." But those words create a prison. Instead, try asking, "How can I make this possible?" That one question flips the switch from defeat to creativity. Romans 12:2 says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind," not the removal of your challenges, but the renewing of how you face them. And don't overlook the power of your environment. You become who you spend time with. If your circle is full of people who complain about money, who gossip, who quit when it gets hard, that energy rubs off on you. But if your circle is made of dreamers, doers, and believers, you rise with them. Proverbs 13:20 teaches, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." Get around people who believe in growth. Join communities where financial literacy, generosity, and personal development are normalized. Your tribe matters. Your circle creates your standard. Faith is the fuel behind all transformation. And no, I'm not talking about blind optimism. I mean unshakable belief that something better is possible, even when everything around you says otherwise. Every great movement in history started with faith. Every business, every invention, every turning point. Faith says, "I might not see it yet, but I know it's real." And when you stand on that truth, mountains start to move. Mark 11:24 says, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." That's not wishful thinking. That's the authority of belief. Now, let's get practical. Dreaming without action is delusion. If you want to build wealth, you need a game plan. Set goals. Break them into small steps. Track your progress. Whether it's launching a business, investing, or building savings, every action counts. James 2:17 tells us, "Faith without works is dead." It's not enough to hope. You've got to move. Your steps, no matter how small, are proof of your belief. And here's something most people miss. You can't just act rich. You have to think and live with integrity. That means aligning your financial behavior with your values. If you believe in generosity, are you giving? If you believe in financial freedom, are you spending wisely? Luke 16:10 says, "Whoever is faithful with little will also be faithful with much." Managing what you have today proves you're ready for more tomorrow. There will be setbacks. Don't let them lie to you. A financial failure doesn't mean you're a failure. Every great story includes a struggle. Your job is to extract the lesson, not the label. Romans 5:3-4 says, "We glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." Let that hope fuel you forward. Let's talk about wealth itself. Some people have been taught that money is evil, but the Bible never said that. It says in 1 Timothy 6:10, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil." Money is neutral. It's a tool. It amplifies who you already are. When used well, it becomes a blessing, not just for you, but for others. Imagine using your wealth to support communities, to feed families, to lift others out of struggle. That's real power. That's legacy. Giving back is part of the abundance cycle. When you give, you tell the universe, "I have more than enough," and that energy returns to you multiplied. Proverbs 11:25 says, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." It's not just charity, it's strategy. It keeps your heart open, your hands generous, and your mindset abundant. And while we're building wealth, let's not forget the responsibility that comes with it. With every level of success comes a greater call to impact. Use your resources wisely, invest in things that matter, build things that last. And always, Always stay anchored to your purpose. Psalm 112, verse 5 says, "Good will come to those who are generous and lend freely, who conduct their affairs with justice." That's the kind of wealth that carries weight. You don't need $1 million to start changing your life. You need belief, clarity, and movement. You need to start with what you have, where you are. Build discipline, build character, build habits that align with your vision. And as you grow, you'll see that wealth isn't about chasing, it's about becoming. Become the kind of person who attracts abundance. Become the one who stewards it well. Become the one who lifts others as you rise. By now, you can probably feel the shift. You understand that mindset isn't a small detail, it's the foundation. That gratitude isn't a soft skill, it's a secret weapon. That faith isn't a fallback, it's your superpower. So, where do you go from here? Start small, start now. Write down your goals. Speak life over your future. Refuse to repeat stories of lack. Surround yourself with people who speak truth, growth, and vision. Give, learn, believe, move. Friend, your breakthrough doesn't begin when the money shows up. It begins the moment you decide to think differently. Wealth is not just the result of effort, it's the result of alignment. And when your mind, your heart, and your actions are aligned, nothing can stop you. You were created for more. You were built for impact. And abundance is not just possible, it's your birthright. Step into it boldly. If this message lit something inside you, like, share, and subscribe. And if you're ready to go even deeper, click the next video on your screen and keep growing. Your future is waiting. Don't keep it waiting any longer.